We are going to watch a film by Sir Bacchus. So this is me going sa ticket booth, putting on my name writing, and then getting the ticket. Walking to the entrance, padulong sa cinema. And then, walking. And boosh, here is a second clip sa movie. And during a part, si Sabrina was asking questions about the movie. No audio para for privacy. And here is Sir Bacchus answering the questions.
Kaya take 2 pag ito siya. Kaya at first, wala pa kayo siya na naugdaw, and then wala pa kaya na ako siya na feel nga ipagawas ni Heidi lang din yung frustration. Pero inspiration from that scene also sa when I was in high school. Kaya halos mga films na directly connected sa ako, na siya mga bit of experiences na ako siyang ginakumbine. So ang ako ang inspiration ng mama nga nagkila. Okay, sa akong high school, no, hindi ko mag-load ng computer. So, naibata na nalisan sa taxi. And then, ako ang yung mama. Kung maragdili, hindi mo siya pwede nga ang mama kay isa na kaluha. Na-recall na ako siya, kato siya na mama kay magpiyata ba nga scene, di ba? Nga si Jesus at si Mary namin siya. Inala, yung diligid siya, muhilak, ng hinay ni siya. So, dito na ako na-remember na ako mga scene sa una na. Okay, nalang yung mga similar na experience na ito.
Ani nga point kay we are asked to sit in front kay mag picture taking with everybody. Picture. Thank you, sir. And then I was pointing to sir, but then he said hi sa vlog. So, hi sir. Thank you sir for the film. And then, kaniga, we're going out with a friend, with Kifi and Sharpie. And we were finding here the poster of Sir Bacchus, but turns out walay nakapost yung poster. But yeah, and that's it guys. We are done watching Sir Bacchus' film called The End of War. In this part, picture with the class. And then karon, we have my reflection essay. Good day everyone. So I watched the movie of Sir Joe Bacchus entitled The End of War. So The End of War is a movie about a war, as it says on the title. So, war, it is kanang set in a point of view of ordinary people in the middle of a war. Set siya in Maguindanao. So, sometimes, diba, we see mostly movies about war, about two teams. It can be like different nations, different will, like different ilahang gusto mahitabo sa something, that's why they have a war. Well, this movie, it tackles not about the two teams nagka-war. It makes us see the point of view of an ordinary family while they're in a war. So, this film is set during the 2008 armed conflicts between the rebels and the Filipino soldiers. Kani, as I said kaina, the film shows not the people involved, but the people nga kaka-involved, even though they're not directly the ones who fires the guns, who decides where to plant a bomb, a grenade, to throw a grenade. They're the people who are affected, even though they're just bystanders or witnesses. They're being victims through them being stressed out about the uncertainty of tomorrow, if tomorrow will come pa ba. In the story, what struck me the most is the idea of Sir Bacchus that it's a movie about the war, but it isn't about the war itself. The movie isn't portrayed just of a fight between two opposing sides, but instead, it focused on the people caught in between the war. The family, the ordinary family in the film actually depicted or represented the families nga affected by uncontrollable conflicts around them that maybe kills a part of a family, a child, a mother, a father, and yes. they're affected by a conflict that they cannot control. In this movie actually, bisan og we see movies that are about two opposing sides, I personally think about the kanang people who are affected by this. Example is the movie Avengers. If we watch the movie Avengers, we're only interested about the superhero saving something. But while they're saving something, diba, they disrupt some lives, like throwing a car, breaking a building, or something like that, diba? So this movie actually made me think about the people nga not actually being depicted sa mga movies like this. This film made me think that a war isn't only about the rebels, the soldiers, the weapons, or the political meaning behind a war. It's also about the families in the background losing their children, losing their families, and just ordinary people being forced to survive in a circumstance they didn't dream of, or like a circumstance they never chose to have. So Sir Bacco's execution of the war really also made me have goosebumps while watching that, because as my classmates said that time nga, the discomfort of hearing the loud audio, the silence, and then boom, guns. The tension on that part really also was amazing. Kay, instead of relying on the dialogues or the exposition, Sir Bacchus made a difference in doing or in choosing the silence or the chaos to relate to the viewers what the war is really about, or what the war really affects na we do not know or we are not aware of. In the tension that the movie really has all over it, it makes us create this feeling of uncertainty also as audiences of the movie. Because as audience, we experience the same work uncertainty of the people inside the movie as they are ordinary people only like us. The contrast between the silence and then sudden danger reflects how unpredictable life in between a war really can become stressful. Ako as an audience, I was stressful for the people inside the movie, the ordinary people. But all in all, the cultural difference that this film makes is it is especially meaningful sa mga people who endured and have survived a war. I think kay it represents that a war can be reduced in statistics or news reports. Instead, it gave the conflicts of ordinary people a face. It told us nga, this is what happens to the ordinary people that lives around the area. Kung asa na ay war, kung asa the rebels are, kung asa madesisyonan sa military soldiers nga mo attack. And I didn't know that. I wasn't aware of that nga. While there's kanang battle, while they're like firing their guns, while they're firing their guns, there are people around the area, surrounding the area, the ordinary people that doesn't even know what's happening. Are they supposed to run? Are they supposed to hide? Are they supposed to stay? So yeah, I wasn't aware, and the film made me open my eyes about that. And the setting also nga gi-choose ni Sir Bacchus really made a difference also, because it reflects that a war isn't simply kanang pinakalit. It also tells us that it has to do with the history, the communities, and the identity of Mindanao. I think personally, the film encourages us to look beyond the stereotype and understand that behind every conflict, behind every big war that we see on the news, there are people with families feeling different emotions every day because they do not know where to run. Kasi mauna, they're located ilahang home, ilahang work. Every conflict, kaya there are people who hopes and lives and that has lives they want to protect. So for me, I see the film as an example of how culture and history influence the way the stories are created. It shows how a film can become a form of cultural expression and social commentary. More importantly, the challenges that the audience feel with empathy rather than us simply choosing sides in a war. The true meaning of peace is not the absence of the gunfires. It's the presence of the people around the community or the community that they're used to. Being at peace means allowing the families and communities to live without fear. The film also tells me nga, even if a war is over, even if a news reporter announces a war is over, for the people that was affected by it, it isn't really over. It wasn't really over because the war left them traces. Like a family being killed, like what happened in the film. It affects like being at peace does not necessarily happen immediately for the family that is grieving because they lost someone. The people who experienced losses still carries the memories, and the consequences long afterward the war. And that's all for my reflection essay about The End of War by Sergio Bacos.
Pasensya, pero maayos na to siya nga bata. Actually, ikaduha na to ni nga salida na siya katong film bitaw ni Jasmine Limas nga. Ano yung film ni Jasmine Galington? Katong na ay kuha ng mama. Carmen, yes. Siya tong bata gyapon sa Carmen.